Hi everyone, welcome back. This is episode 2 of Big Betty's Adventures. We're going to get the ceiling up today because the roof light's finally fitted. Let's go and see it. Just before we jump into the van, guys, I want to just bring your attention to something. I've got a wee insider, a wee trade secret. People usually buy this stuff. This is MDF, foam bagged, acoustic wall panels. People put them on their ceiling. And don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely brilliant, so it does when it's up there on your ceiling. It looks lovely, but it's heavy and it's expensive as well. This is just sponge, this backing foam. It's like a foamy sponge. So a lot of people are complaining that it's holding water, and after a wee while they're getting mould on this as well. So I don't really want this in my van. Plus it'll keep the weight down with this other wee thing that I've got. So if you go to Temu or Amazon or something like that, you'll get this stuff. It's quite cheap. It's quite decent. You can hear that? It's quite hard wearing as well, and it's a very good effect as well. So we're going to get that up on the ceiling. I'm going to cut out the holes. This won't just go on the ceiling. This will go into probably 6mm ply, maybe 4 or 5mm ply. We'll see. It needs to be pliable because my roof's got a wee bow in it. And we're going to get this on the ceiling, and there's going to be black LED downlights in here as well, which are also red, green and blue, or RGB as they call it, for a nice ambient lighting. So this is what we're going to use. That's my wee hack. A lot of people have been saying, like, in comments on campervan sites and things like that this peels off in the summer. I'm not going to get that problem here in Scotland, in Glasgow, but just for a wee bit of extra security in these lines here, I'm going to be putting carpet tacks, just a wee thin pinhead tacks, black tacks, not right along, but probably periodically right along it, and that will help it stay on the ceiling. Also, see on my top shelf up there, I've got some trim fix as well, which I'll probably put on it as well, just to make sure that this stays on the ceiling, because I wouldn't trust the self-adhesive on it. But we'll have a look anyway, and we'll see how it goes. Let's dive in, we'll see how it goes. Right, so we've been to the timber merchants, we've got our wood. I got 2 sheets of 5.5mm hardwood ply. That's ideal for my ceiling because it's light enough, it's thin enough for the bend of the roof. The roof's not very curved. It's actually no bad, it's quite straight, but there is a wee kind of curve in it. It's not too big, so that'll be ideal. I got 2 sheets here because the van is just over 5 feet wide, just over 4 feet wide at the top, and I think the length is about 13 feet long. I'll show you. So here's my ply here. As you can see, it's nice and thin. The ceiling is, I'm not too sure, I think about 5 feet wide actually. So these boards are obviously about 4 feet wide, and that'll be ideal. There's going to be cupboards up here, but at the parts where there won't be cupboards, then I'll bring it down the edges and down at the corners and things like that. Right up at the front there will be another shelf up there. I'm going to build a nice wee kind of cabinet for up there. And once we know what I was thinking about maybe covering this first before I put it up. Aye, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll go ahead and do that just now. So I think 3 rolls per sheet will be enough. I've got all the stuff that we need here. Everything we need to crack on with our work. Right, we've got it in there because it's starting to rain a wee bit and I want to shut the van doors, so we'll brought it into the unit. We're going to speed this up. You ready? First time I've worked with this stuff, and I went to roll it back there and I folded it but the mark has stayed in And the vinyl. It doesn't seem to be wanting to come out either, look. So, first impressions, not very good. I'm going to get my heat gun onto that, see if that makes any difference. Those marks don't seem to be wanting to come out, but while I was doing that, before you stick your stuff down, just go over the edge of your plywood there with a wee bit of sandpaper just to smooth that down, because that's going to, obviously it's not going to stick on there, it's going to peel up eventually. But as I've noticed, it marks really easily. My nails are bothered. It marks really easily. There's a couple of wee kind of notches on it, there's another one there. But this is the one that I've had kicking about the workshop. Apart from that was me that bent that, trying to roll it back in the other direction, which was a silly thing to do. Again, another wee mark. So I'm going to use this one as my tester and get rid of it. I'll just have a nice new fresh one. See them there in the back of the van? I'm going to get one of them in. Right, we've got our new one, and this is just out the cellophane, and already I can see some imperfections, like this bit here, all the way down it, and a few other. It is evident that you get what you pay for. Right, take two. It really is just as simple as peeling it off, sticking it down. That actually does look okay. It really is nice. In fact, I'm really happy with that. Let's get the rest of them on. This is a wee bit trickier, this bit. To be honest, it's actually no. That join, to me, that join is invisible. Absolutely invisible. It's just because this is quite thin. You're probably better doing this on a hard floor. I'll remember that for the next length that I'm doing. that this would be better on a hard floor. It would be much better on a hard floor actually. Is it me or the bits a bit thicker than the ones? I don't know. Right, wee Stanley blade, maybe not catch that on the camera. Just bring it down a wee bit. Wee sharp Stanley blade. There's your uncle. Is this the one with the imperfections on it? Nah, that's it, badging look. I don't think I would have enough. Aladdin's cave back here. Got another one. Let's see what the imperfections are like in this. That's frustrating. Look at that. A wee fraction of an inch. Well, an actual inch. Right, let's get this. Yeah, I've bought these in different places. Do you know what? They look like 3 different shades. Is it just the way the light's hitting it? I think that's darker than that middle one. I think these two are the same. I don't know. What do you think? Does it look? Well, but when I'm over here it looks exactly the same. It's the same. Right, as I was saying, I've bought these for 3 different outlets. Amazon, Shein and Temu. And I'm pretty sure the one with all the imperfections was for Temu. 100% sure. But that's alright, they've already refunded me for it, so no love lost there. Okay, let's get this one finished up. Yeah. Come on. The bit that was damaged, this bit here. There's a wee, as you can see, a wee thin strip right up there. That will be ideal for that. So I'm going to utilise that and I'm going to finish that off with that wee bit. I'll get my heat gun onto that and we'll see if that can even that out. But aye, overall it's looking alright so far. So there it's on, that's it. That's it all put onto the ply, 5mm ply. It's now just to be transferred to the ceiling. I know it's upside down, but I wanted to see it because it looks as if it's different shades. I think this one in the middle is a different shade for those two. Either that or I've got the pattern around the opposite way. I don't really know. You can see that. Looks alright for here. And when I do that, you can see it. I don't know. I think I can live with that. This isn't a customer's car, this is mine anyway, so I figured it out. I think I had the pattern just going the opposite direction, because these two seem to be fine. In typical Duncan standards, I've left my other roll up the road. So that's all we can really do today. Well, do you know what? It's only 1 o'clock, let's just go home and get it and come back, right? Right, so I did go home, excuse me, and it's no there, I've not got any left. I bought 6 because I kind of figured it would take 3 for each roll. So the 6 that I've used, I've got that one that was damaged. I wonder if I could utilise that. No, I didn't, because I used that for the single strip for the edge, so I've not got any left. But I've ordered another 3 anyway, so, and it's coming from Amazon, so a few days. Aye, so there's nothing really I can do now except just wait. So I'll catch you in the next part of the video. So you know me, when I run out of stuff I always find something else to do, so I've done another wee side mission. So while we're waiting on the vinyl coming for the ceiling, I've done a wee, as I said, I've done a wee side mission, and the wee side mission is this. Started on the 12 volt fuse box. So I've marked out exactly what I'm going to use. This is the living room light. These are just for the lights, right? These are for the LED lights that are going to be on the ceiling. That's the bedroom. That one is the kitchen, and I've got one here, which is a smaller gauge cable, just 1mm. I'm going to be putting that in there, and this will be for the single light that will be in the toilet, which is going to be right here. So what I've done is I've got these wee tiny connectors there. These will fit in there. So you put that in a spare one. Well, obviously the red will go in there. This will be your positive, and then you put your negatives into the bus bar. So I'll give myself a wee bit more cable here so I can stretch around, and I'll put that on there, and that'll be these 4. So it's like a first fix. You could call it a first fix, but these are only for the ceiling. All these other connections here, these are all going to be for like USBs and the fridge. I've got the diesel heater is actually hidden behind here, so I still need to cut this out so I can get the ducting through here, so we can get the heating in the rear. But these are all going to be for anything else that I want to add to it in the future. Right, I've not got my standways from my phone, so I'm doing this with one hand just now. Very, very simple. These just screw off, just like that. Right, they come off. Just put that somewhere, put it up there just now. So when you're taking a positive off, always take a negative off as well. So we'll take this one here, which is obviously empty, because I'd like to keep all the lights all together. And we'll take this one off here. As simple as that. What we do next is we get this, put that there, and we put the screw, put it there like so, and put the screw through into that. The red one will do the same in there, and you screw it back up. Another wee thing, when you're crimping all these wee connections on, always give them a wee tug test. Really pull on them, just so that you know that they're not going to pop out, because obviously when you're driving about in your van, they're going to be vibrating about a lot. This is going to be sitting bolted onto my wall here. There's going to be an air gap behind it. This is where my bench will be, so that system will sit underneath the bench here. The battery will possibly sit on this side or that side. I've not decided yet. And this will be, but all my 12 volt system will be, the core system will sit here. Right up at the back there behind the wheel arch is where the 240 volt system will come in. From campsite, or an electric hookup system will go down in that area down there, but that's another video. We'll concentrate on this just now, and this is the first fix. All these cables that I've got here, they're all going to run along here, up through the wall, up to the ceiling, to the various lights, which are going to be, there's going to be 3 lights here in this area, in the living room area, sitting area. I'm going to have 1 wee light in the shower. There's going to be 2 lights down here where the kitchen will be, and up at the back I'll have another 2 lights for the bedroom area. Right, so while we're waiting on stuff coming from Amazon, the stuff for the ceiling, we don't want to put the ceiling up just now anyway, because we want to get these first fixed done first. So we've got nice wee downlighters, wee old beaming downlighters, and I'm using wee Wagos just to daisy chain them all together. So much easier, so it is. And I've got a cracking wee tool here which is brilliant as well. This is one, so I've done from my 12 volt distribution box, I'm going to run that to a switch, a 4-way switch. There's going to be 4 different circuits. There's going to be 3 downlights here in the living room area, and just above me I'm actually sitting in the kind of walkway that will have right up and down the van. So they'll have the shower on this side and the kitchen will be behind me, so I'm going to have 2 downlights here as well. There'll be strip lights along the bottom and underneath the cabinets and that anyway. So these 2 downlights are just going to go above me. There's going to be 1 in the shower, as I said, and there's going to be 2 over there in the bedroom, 1 at each side of the bed. So I've done all the cabling to the switch. So what we're doing now is we're coming from the switch to the lights, and this is the first one. So we're going into the kitchen. I've done the living room, I've done the bathroom, shower room, and we're going to do the kitchen now. Get my glasses on because I'm blind as a bat. So right, so I've already done this one wee cable here, and that's all you need. And this is the wee tool. Get them off and get them out screw fix or whatever. Just stick your cable in there like that, and it just snaps it. Just get your nail behind it and just pull it off. Easier said than done. Huh? It does come off. A wee bit of persuasion and it'll come off. And the same again, your negative and your positive. Just keep them together as they are. Again, you just put, see the wee black stopper here? Where is it? Right, so we've got a wee black stopper here. You put both cables up, right up to that wee stopper. Keep them flat in there. Put them right up to the stopper. And that just bears those 2 wires as well. Dead easy. A lot of electricians will go, that's the easy way of doing it. I would say it is the easy way of doing it. And the quickest way of doing it, instead of messing about with Stanley blades and a pair of pliers like you guys do. That you do all day, every day, all your life. So we've done this. This is 1 cable. This is going to run from the switch, which is right where this camera will be. The switch will be here on the media wall. Oh, matron, I'm going to have a media wall in my van. So we're going to go up, over, into the kitchen, which is right above me. So we'll move the camera and I'll show you where they're going to go. Sitting, as you can see there, so this bit that's all plywooded off, there's going to be the shower room and toilet is going to be in here. There is a window behind that, but that's all insulated and covered. That's our other window. Here we're going to have our L-shaped seating, which will probably come up to where this first trestle is, and the media wall, in fact maybe back where the stand is, the media wall will be right up here. There'll be a TV on this side, so when we're on our L-shaped seating we can sit here and we can watch our TV. The media wall will be here, so there's going to be a switch on the media wall, if you can just imagine it, a wee switch right here, which we'll use for all our lighting. So 3 up here, 2 above the kitchen, which the kitchen will be here by the window. So I like looking at my window when I'm cooking or doing the dishes. In the shower we'll have 1 wee light which will go up there, and in the bedroom area there's going to be 2 benches here, and we're going to get our 2 lights up in here, one at each end of our wee skylight, which Stephen from Happy Campers fitted for us. We'll just open that because it's absolutely boiling today. It's a lovely wee day today. And I think the other one's opened anyway, is it? Yes, it is. Right, so it looks a bit of a mess here. So let's get this first light up. So we'll run our cable from the imaginary switch. So the switch will be about here, right? We've got a wee line on the wall there to kind of, so we'll give ourselves a wee bit of slack. Running up here. This will run right over the wood, which will be up here, and the first light will be right about here. So that's actually ideal. I've cut that perfect. What we're going to do now is we're going to join this end. This will be on the switch. So we'll put a wee spade connector on the positive there, the wee spade connector which will go onto the switch, like so. You'll see the wee spades. So we'll put a wee spade connector onto that, and we'll get a wee spade connector fitted onto this. We'll get a wee Wago on here, which will go up to our next, which will go up to the light, the negative on the light, and then we'll put the next one in, we'll terminate it at the second light. These keep falling away, these things. So I'll just do that. Put a wee clamp there just so it holds it on the table. I can work on it or it's not going to fall. There's my wee clamp there, I've never seen that in the video. Just a wee cheap clamp that holds your wee cable, just so you can work on it. And we'll get ourselves a wee female connector, a spade connector. And this will go into your positive, your red positive. What I like to do is when I bare the cables, I just twist them round, gets them all nice and neat and tight. Slide over our wee blue one. I don't know if these are this might just be a cheap crimping tool, because you see the red dots and the yellow dot and the blue dot there, they correspond with each connector for crimping. But the blue one doesn't really crimp it very strong, so what I do is I just use the red one. That's a lot stronger. Just get the black out the road just now. So you just set it in there. Can you see that? Alright, aye. You just set that in there until it kind of holds the crimp out of the spade in, and just make sure your wire is right at the top, and that gives you a nice wee solid crimp. Give it a wee tug test and you're good to go. That goes into your switch. Then on your negative side you get one of these wee crimp joiners. I don't know the real names for these. I'm just making it up as I go. It's just a lot neater. And again, you just use the red crimping side. Get that right nice and neat in there and tight. Push your cable in. And that's that crimped onto there. And then you can put your other negative that comes from your light into that side. That's switched. That goes into the switch. And then from the switch you'll run another positive from the other prong, which goes up to the positive in your light. This is switch side done, and we're now on to our first light. So this will go up to the first light. We've got a light sitting here already, so this is the one that I'm just using for all my connections. You see, I've got a wee 3-way Wago on each of these, and you need to watch because some of these lights are different coloured cables. So the black on this is your positive, and the white on this is your negative. It might be different on different lights, I'm not too sure, but on these particular lights, these are beaming lights. I've not got the boxes in my workshop. So that's going to be in your ceiling. So what we need to do is we just need to bare these wee cables here. So the white is, did I say the white was positive? No, the black is positive, right? So what we'll do is, the black's positive, we'll put a positive into one of the empty slots in the Wago. Should just get right in there and no bother. Hold on, that might just be a bit long for the Wago connector. Just get my wee snips. So they're just a wee bit too long, so give them a wee couple of mils off of that. That's probably too short. The black is positive in it. That goes in here. There you go, that's touching the back there. Perfect. Wee tug test, solid. And your same with your black, let me see the length of that. Aye, that's quite long as well. Couple of wee mils off of that. Another wee twist. And then we'll put that, you can see, into the negative Wago tug test. Yep, and that's that one. So that's your wee light connected. And what we'll do now is we've got two spares here. We've got two spare connections on these wee Wagos. What we'll do is, again, we're going to go to our next light. So what we'll do is we'll take a positive from here, from the positive into the next light, and the negative from the cable that hangs to the next light will go in here, and it'll finish the connection. Easy. Right, so that's a full shift done, and every cable for the camper in the rear is complete. Every switch and everywhere something's going to be, all the cables are all just ready to connect. Look, like you see, they're just sitting down there. When I say all the cables, I mean all the 12 volt stuff. Obviously the AC is a completely different, separate unit. It will still run for the Blue 80. It will still run for the core unit. But we need to use different cables for that, no just wee 12 volt cables. But that's for another video. We'll do the AC side in another video. But aye, that's me done for the day. So I'll see you tomorrow when we do something else. Hi everyone, just first of all, thanks for your patience. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave the videos here for just now, as the stuff still not arrives yet. I was expecting it to arrive yesterday and the day before. This is Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon now. I was at football with my son today as well, so it's a busy wee life I've got, and getting these videos is quite hard. I didn't think it would be so tough to find the time to do these. But we're still waiting on stuff coming. You can see I'm waiting on this here. This stuff here is getting in there. We've got the pods. Two window pods. These are all cut out and they're all ready to be fitted. I'm just waiting on wee bits of hardware to join it, wee push buttons and things like that, for them to be completed. So they should be all coming this week at some point. So there's a couple of other wee things that I'm waiting. So what I'll do is I'll upload both videos tonight, one for Big Betty and one for the McEwen's micro campers, and I'll use this wee clip and we'll kind of slide them in to each video. With a wee apology and thanks for sticking with us, and we'll get it sorted in the next couple of videos. We'll get everything that we've said in these two videos, we'll get it done. Fingers crossed, hopefully, and thanks for sticking with us guys. So I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks very much, bye.